magicians have tried to get spectators like yourself to think of a small number that even you aren't aware of, all right? And I'm going to do that for you right now. I'm going to get you to do it, all right? Okay. So from the deck, before we got here, by the way, I made a prediction, and it's there in this napkin. I've made a prediction. It's in the napkin, all right?
On the napkin.
No, in the napkin, not on it. Okay, you want to get it right? So it's in the napkin.
It's the medication.
Yes, it's on medication. I wish I was. Now, I'm going to ask you, while I turn my head,
strange odour,
to cut some cards off the deck.
Yes.
Not yet. I'm going to look away. Cut some cards off the deck.
Yeah.
Count them, and so you know how many you've got.
Right. Okay.
Maybe you can count them in a way that the camera can see as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But I'll look away as you do it.
All right.
Count some. Tell me when you cut some off.
I've got some off.
Okay. Count the cards.
Count them off. Lloyd, can you see this?
Maybe we could sing a song while we're doing it to keep it going.
Tower song.
Have you done it?
Yes, I have.
Do you remember how many you got?
Yes, I have.
Now, so I'm not looking. Can you put them back on the top so I can't even see the thickness?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right. Now, that is all very fair and square,
Very
isn't it?
fair.
All right. Now, I'm going to ask you to. I'm going to run through the cards in the deck. I want you to remember the card that lies in the position of the amount of cards you had. So I'm going to do this like 1, 2. Yeah. If it was the second card, you'd remember that card.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So I won't look. I'm trying to do this so the camera can see and you can see at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Have you seen a card yet?
I have.
Okay, you've seen a card. That's fair. Now, I'm going to try and work out what that card is. Now,
how?
I have no idea how many you cut off. That's the truth as well.
That's
I mean, I can't prove that to the camera, but that's the truth.
Lloyd didn't tell you, did he? No.
Lloyd didn't tell me, but you're remembering a card, all right?
Yeah, I am.
Remembering a card.
Yeah.
I've got to work out what it is.
Okay.
Let me have a look here. I'm going to go to the deck. I think, now, don't tell me yet, because I think it could be, I think it's a black card. I think it's a spot card. No, hang on, it's not a black card. It's not a spot card. I think it's a court card. I'm going to go for a picture card. King of Diamonds.
Yeah, it was.
Was that your card?
Yeah, that was my card.
Now that's quite extraordinary, isn't it?
Extraordinary.
But you remember I made a prediction.
Don't tell me you knew beforehand.
Well, I knew you'd choose the King of Diamonds because of my prediction I wrote King of Diamonds.
So look at that.
But also, there's something else I know.
What's that?
The amount of cards you cut off, I would say you cut off 10 cards. Am I right?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very enthusiastic. It's 10 cards, yeah.
Yes. I did. It was 10.
But also, more than that, I knew that you would cut off 10.
Yeah.
I knew you'd choose the King of Diamonds because this King of Diamonds is the only one that's marked in the deck. Is that extraordinary?
That is very impressive.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's one of your creations, isn't it?
It is. A new one.
Yeah, brilliant. In the book?
In the new book.
In the new book.
That's not written yet. Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Superb.
Okay, folks, I'm going to show you about card control, how to control cards, specifically maybe the leader card in the deck. Now, I'm sure you're aware that the leader card in the deck is the Ace of Spades. So let me just find the Ace of Spades and show you exactly what I mean by card control. It's such good card control, I can't even find it, and there it is. So the Ace of Spades, I'm going to cut it into the deck so it will get lost into the deck somewhere. And you can see that it's all very clear and very honest. Also, I'll give the cards another shuffle. I'm going to give them a shuffle like we do in the United Kingdom, but also a shuffle they do in America, which is like this. And that's a pretty good shuffle, I think you'll agree. Those cards are mixed. Now, to find the Ace of Spades, I'm going to need half the deck. I think that's about half the deck there. So I think the Ace of Spades is probably in half of these, which is pretty amazing, bearing in mind all the cutting and shuffling. In actual fact, I'm going to say that the Ace of Spades is in half of these. I think the Ace of Spades is probably in half of these. In actual fact, I think the Ace of Spades is probably in half of these. In actual fact, I'm going to go for this card here. I think that should be the Ace of Spades, and it is. Now that's pretty good, but if you play poker, wouldn't it be nice to get these cards here, a royal flush in spades? Hello folks, this is from Card Wonders, my new book. Well, it is new as of 2026. And it's an oil and water routine. Don't switch off. Okay, don't switch off. I think it's a very visual oil and water routine. Pretty easy, and it's a bit of an eye popper. And says he modestly, but I hope you enjoy it. Now, one of the oldest tricks in the book,
No, not that one. One of the oldest tricks in the book is oil and water. And what that means is, if you put oil and water together, we were taught this at school in chemistry. I have no idea why, because it bored the life out of me. But anyway, if you put oil and water together like this, eventually the oil and water separate because of the thickness of the oil and the thickness of the water. They're different. It's the same, really, with the playing cards, the reds and blacks. Reds and blacks won't stay together. Now, at the moment, I'm starting with the packet mixed. Now, what that means is this. I've got, these are spot cards, red and black, red and black, red and black, red, black, red, and black. So they're already mixed, okay? Let me just display that again. So those cards are alternatingly mixed. So from the top, it's reds, red and black, red and black, red and black, red and black, red and black. Okay, so I've got the blacks here and the reds there. If you're skeptical, by the way, I'll just prove it again. So these are the black cards on the right side of the table. So they're the blacks, and these ones are obviously the reds. Now I'm going to openly mix them for you. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds and 5 blacks. So here's the open mix. Red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, and black. But, you see, I'm a magician if I do this. They don't stay mixed for long, because if I shake the cards, the blacks rise to the top, leaving the reds on the bottom. And that, folks, is magic. Card wonders.
Do you like 4-ace routines? Ace assembly routines? I love them. I prefer it with kings though. So let me show you something. This is all done from a borrowed shuffled deck. There's 2 kings. Let me find them. You always, when you do this, you shuffle a pack of cards. The cards you want are always right down the very end, and they are indeed. So I need the 4 kings out of the deck and just the deck itself. So, let me just prove to you what I've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4 kings, which I'm going to place in this T formation like that. That's the leader right there. Now, like every other routine in the book, I'm going to place 3 cards on top of that king there. I'll give the cards a shuffle now, and normally with this kind of routine, you place a few cards on each king, but I'm going to change procedures because I'm going to take these kings, and the kings are going to vanish, and they have vanished because I've now got 3 in different cards there. The kings have vanished. You're probably thinking they're over here, don't you? Well, most people do, but in actual fact, these cards down here are the 4 aces. And as for the kings are dead centre right there. You know, folks, we've got the 4 kings out from the previous trick, and I'm going to use them in a moment. The first thing I need to do is to shuffle the cards, and I'm shuffling like we do in England. In America, when they shuffle the cards, they do a faro shuffle or a riffle shuffle. It's normally done on the table, but I'll do it in the hands so you can see how good a shuffle this is, and that is a good shuffle. I'll do it again. I really want to make sure these cards are well and truly mixed. If you were here, you'd be able to see how good they are. That is a good shuffle. Third time lucky. I'll just one more time, and that is a good shuffle right there and then. So I'm now going to lose the kings into different areas of the deck, and I want them to go into sort of about a quarter of the way down each one. So 1 there, 1 here. Let's place this one here, the king of spades there, and the king of diamonds right down the bottom there. You can see those kings. I'll leave them protruding for a second. They are lost in the deck, especially now if I give the cards a couple of cuts. Now, to find them, I can't find them, but the card case can. What I mean by that is on the card case, there's 4 main words on this tally-ho card case. A dirty, tally-ho, playing and cards. Watch very closely. A dirty, A-D-O-U-G-H-E-R-T-Y, and there's the king of clubs. If there's a king there, I'd lose it. A king there, I'd lose it. The next one is tally-ho. Look at this. T-A-L-L-Y-H-O, and there's the king of hearts. Again, no king there, no king there. If there was, I would lose it. The next one is playing, P-L-A-Y-I-N-G, and there's the king of spades. And the last one is cards down there, C-A-R-D-S, and that, it's the ace of clubs. That's gone pear-shaped. I forgot something. I forgot. On every single tally-ho card case, there's a number 9 down there. 9. Watch this. N-I-N-E, and there's the king of diamonds. And whilst we've got those kings there, wouldn't it be nice to find the wives, the 4 queens, to match each one? And there they are. Let me just show you the aces, by the way. While I've got the aces out there, I'm going to shuffle the aces. If you were here, I'll get you to do it, Graham. But you're on the camera.
Yeah.
The aces are being shuffled. They go back on the top of the deck. I'm going to give the deck a shuffle, and I'm going to instantly spell to Ace of Diamonds. Here we go. What's this? ACEOFDIAMOND. Oh, it's a Jack of Spades. Hang on, that didn't work out. Sorry, I didn't want the Jack of Spades. Let me try that again. I know what I didn't do. I didn't say the word "the" at the beginning of it. So let's go for a different ace. We'll go for the Ace of Clubs. THE, the ACEOFCLUBS, and then it's a Jack of Spades again. Hang on a second. This isn't so good. I'm a bit embarrassed by this, Graham, so I'm trying to really impress you here. But I know. I'll go for the ace, Ace of Hearts. Here we go. THE, the ACEOFHEARTS, and that is the bloody Jack of Spades again. Sorry, it's embarrassing. Hang on. Let's lose it. Look, you can see that it's lost. In fact,
Yes.
let's do. That's lost. It's lost. In fact, if I put the cards together again,
That's lost.
The best shuffle I know, Graham, which is this, and I think you've got to admit, that's a pretty darn good. These are your cards, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They're bent to hell.
Bent. Oh,
But let's try this anyway. Look, they are being mixed. Now, to find the last ace, I'm going to go. Not the Jack of Spades. I don't want that again. The last ace, I'm going to find with half the deck. It's in here.
yes.
In actual fact, Graham, it's in half of these. I'm going to find the Ace of Spades, and I do apologise, folks. While I'm doing this, I do apologise about the Jack of Spades. It shouldn't have appeared. I don't know why it did, but anyway. I think the Ace of Spades, it's in half of these. In fact, let's try that again. Again, I do apologise about the Jack. I think it's, sorry about this, it's
No.
really embarrassing. In fact, I think if I do this correctly, that last one should be the Ace of the Jack of Spades again. But I tell you what, I'm a magician. If I do that, wouldn't it be nice to get the aces like that, Graham? You see?
Oh, splendid.
There we are. Look, why
One
not
of the
the
weird
aces
things
out?
they taught us at school in the science lessons was that oil and water don't mix. I don't know why we needed to know that, but they told us it's the same with the playing cards. Reds and blacks don't mix. Well, they do mix in one way because I've actually started with the mix. So I've got water and oil, water and oil, water and oil, water and oil. So from the top it's water and oil, water and oil, and here we've got water and oil, water and oil. Okay, so they are mixed. But you see, what I have to do is this and mix the cards like this, and something magical happens. You see, they are unmixed because now these are all the water cards. I've got 4 water cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, something magical will happen again because if I do this, they will automatically mix again. So I've got black and red red over here. And if they're blacks and reds, these must be blacks and reds. Well, they're kind of half right because these are the 4 queens. They're still blacks and reds though. Hi folks, this is the amalgamation from my new book as of 2026, card Wonders. And it's kind of an all-in-water routine with a little bit more. I'm not a huge fan of all-in-water routines, but when they have a little bit more, I do like them. And I've got the 4 queens, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll leave those on the top of the deck for a moment. And I've got the 4 tens, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to mix the queens and the tens together. So queen and 10, queen and 10, queen and 10, and queen and the 10. So they go alternating in the packet there. So queen, 10, etc., etc., etc. Now on the table I'm going to place 4 cards. Queen, 10, queen, and 10, and these go on the top of the deck. And it looks suspicious, by the way. Look, that's a 10, that's a queen, that's a 10, that's a queen, and down on the table, I've got the other 10s and queens. Well, I've got 5 cards. Oh, well, if you play poker, wouldn't it be nice to get a raw flush and spades? That you could use. It's Paul Gordon, and this is jaw-dropping spell from my new book, Card Wonders. Well, new book as of 2026. And it's a real magician fooler. Because like I always say, I like to do these things if I can from a borrowed deck of cards. If you work with a borrowed pack of cards, everything that you do will always seem a lot stronger, okay? Now you ask a spectator, I'm going to write this on the screen so you can see what I'm doing here, because ideally I need somebody. I haven't got anybody, they've all left me. So you ask the spectator to take the deck and think of a smallish number, and then say up to 12, and then take that many cards from the face of the deck as a reminder. So if you're thinking of 3, take 3 cards off. They can come from anywhere in the deck, to be quite frank, but place them aside so I can't see how many you've got. So I'm going to take some here and place them so the spectator will have done that, okay? And I'll write how many there are on the screen. Now, I'm going to deal cards onto the table, and I want you to remember the card that lies at that position, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Have you seen one? Okay, you've got one. Return your cards, by the way. Now, I have absolutely no idea, and that's the truth. I have no idea what the card is. I've just shuffled the cards again. I have no idea what card you're thinking of. But what card are you thinking of? Seven of Spades? Okay. SEVENOFSPADES. And there's the Seven of Spades. And that, folks, is a real puzzler. Hi folks, it's Paul Gordon here, and this is a very easy to do routine from my new book, Card Wonders, and it's based on a routine of mine from Card Foolers. And the spectator can get thoroughly involved in here. It's from a shuffled deck of cards, from a borrowed shuffled deck of cards, which is always my preference to work. And you can do this after a sort of 4-ace routine, something like that, when the 4 aces are out on the table. So the aces are out on the table, and you ask the spectator to cut the deck into 4 piles. So the spectator does this, by the way. They cut the deck into 4 piles beneath each ace. Each ace then goes on each pile. So the spectator's done all the work so far. I'm now going to cut the aces into the deck, and they are getting cut into the deck, thereby being thoroughly lost. And then the last one, the ace of clubs, gets cut into the deck. I'm going to give the cards a shuffle, and I'm going to try and relocate the aces, starting with the ace of clubs. ACEOFCLUBS, and there's the ace of clubs. Not bad, I say. I'll do it again for you. I'll give the cards a shuffle, and I'm going to spell to the ace of hearts. ACEOFHEARTS. There's the ace of hearts. Let's do it again. Let's find the ace of spades this time. Ace of spades. ACEOFSPADES. There's the ace of spades. Now, to find the last one, the ace of diamonds, I'm going to simply cut the deck, and it will jump to the top. And there it is. Oh, it's a 9 of diamonds, not the ace of diamonds, a 9 of diamonds. Well, maybe that's an indicator card. It's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there is the ace of diamonds. And there you are, folks. And that's from Card Wonders.
Hello folks, in the magic world there's a routine called the 4-ace assembly, and the aces all assemble in one little pile, and it's done with a full deck. Well, I've not been working with a full deck for many years now, and I tend to use just the 4 jokers and 4 kings for contrast. So 4 jokers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4 kings. Diamonds, clubs, hearts and spades, obviously. Diamonds, clubs, hearts and spades. Now the king of spades will be the leader. I'll leave it in this position here. That's the main king in the deck. And I'll leave the other kings beneath it. Now on the king of spades, I'm going to place a joker. Joker goes on top of the king of spades. I'm going to take this king from over here, and it will vanish. And it will vanish, and it has gone. Look, there's no king there. Now that means with the king of spades, I've now got the king of diamonds. I'll do it again, a little bit slower. So I'll place a joker with those 2 kings up there. I'll take this king from here, and it will vanish. And it really has gone. Look, there is no king there whatsoever. That means over here I've now got 3 kings. Let's do it one last time. Look, I'll take this joker, place it with the kings. I'll take this king, place it over here, and it will vanish. And as you can see, it really has gone. And over here I've now got all 4 kings. And that, folks, is the end of the trick. And when I say the end, I really do mean the end of the trick. Hello folks, it's Paul Gordon here, and this is my routine called Jive Aces, which is inspired totally by Peter Kane's Jazz Aces. And if you know the construction of the original, you'll know why I favour this, and I think you'll enjoy it. So come down and have a look at it, okay? I've got royal flush in spades and contrasting black cards. I've got the 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace of spades, and I've got 5 red spot cards, okay? So they contrast in colour. So let me just show you again. 10 of spades, Jack of spades, Queen of spades, King of spades, and the ace. Now the ace is the leader, that always goes down here, followed by the other flush cards. That leaves me with the 5 spot cards, 5 red spot cards. Now I'm going to place one of the spot cards on the ace of spades like this, and take this flush card and place it with the other spot cards. If I do this though, these are now all the spot cards, which means over here I've now got 10 of spades. I'll do it again for you. Look, I'm going to leave a red spot card here with the ace and the 10 and the flush card here with the spot cards. All I have to do is this, and now over here I've got all the spot cards, which means over here, yep, you're correct, that's now the jack of spades. I'll do it again for you. Look, a spot card goes here, a flush card goes here. Again, all I do is snap my fingers, and now over here, these are all the spot cards, which means down here, I've now got the queen of spades. The last one is always the hardest one, which is the king of spades. But first off, I'll leave a spot card right here, and yeah, the king of spades here. And all I have to do is this, and it vanishes. I mean, when I say vanishes, it's no longer there. These are just the spot cards, which means over here, I've now got the complete royal flush.
If you'd like to know how to control cards in a game of poker, let me show you. The first thing you have to do is to shuffle the cards. It's always very important, but whilst you're shuffling, you need to get control of the best cards in the deck. Well, the best cards in the deck, generally speaking, are the aces. And I should have got the aces right there. That's the first thing you have to learn. The second thing you have to learn is to be able to run control cards. Now, what that means is this. Let's assume we've got 5 players. Well, you double the number of players plus 1, and then you have to run that amount of cards like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because that's because we had 5 players. Double that plus 1 is 11. Now you have to run 1 less. So that's 4. Then the number of players. That's 5. 1 for luck. And then 5 again. And that should have done it. And I guess I ought to just to make sure that I have done it. And I think I have done it. Now watch very closely here. I'm going to deal the cards. There's no false deals or anything. And I get myself an ace in my hand. I get a second ace. You see, I get a third ace. I get a fourth ace. And of course, the last card, it doesn't matter. Now, that's good. But obviously, when you do it in real time, you have got to do it without any of that showing. Okay, so let's try it again. So I'm going to give the cards a shuffle. You can probably see me, I'm talking to as I'm doing this, but I'm actually controlling those cards once again. But it's never a good idea to deal the best hand to yourself. It's always best to deal it to a partner. That's how it works in the real world. So let's assume the third person is my partner. So 1, 2, 3, this one here. The third person is my partner. And I should be able to get him the best hand. Now, if I've done this correctly, there should be, look, no ace there. Oh, there's an ace there. There's an ace there, and there's an ace in there. That's not so good, but I did say I'd deal my partner the best hand in poker. And the best hand in poker is a royal flush in spades, and that cannot be beaten.
So when I was at school, they told us about all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Logarithms, equations, and I used to look out the window daydreaming. And they also used to talk about, in the chemistry lessons, about oil and water.
Oil and water, yeah,
Now,
yes.
If you put oil and water together, this is fascinating stuff. If you put oil and water together in a little tube like this and mix it, they separate. Well, not many people know it's the same with the playing cards. If you put reds and blacks together, they separate. Would you like me to prove it to you?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. Yes. Oh, the enthusiasm! I will prove it to you. And I'm going to use. 5 reds, and I think I've got 5 reds here. I'm going to use 5 reds and 5 blacks.
Right.
Now, let me tell you what they represent. So, the blacks represent oil. So you can think of black gold, something like that. The oil is black. And the reds represent water. So you might think of the Red Sea or something of that nature, okay? So I've got 5 of each. I've got 5 blacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blacks. And 5 reds.
Beautiful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds. And I'm going to mix them. Here we go. So black and red, black and red, black and red, black and red, and black and red. Okay?
Excellent.
So from top, Graham. Red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, and black.
Yeah.
I don't want to do over-proving here, but that really is the case. You can see that. Now I'm going to leave 5 of them aside here for a moment, which leaves the other 5, which are obviously mixed still. But watch this, I can do a little bit of magic with these, because all I have to do is shake the cards, and now over here, these are now all red, all water cards.
Excellent.
And if they're all water, these must be
The black
all
cards.
blacks. Well, they are, Graham, but these are the best blacks you can get in a game of poker.
Oh, royal
A
flush.
royal flush in spades.
Oh my goodness.
How's that?
That's excellent.
And it's from my new book, Card Wonders.
Card Wonders.
The cards they shuffle, and I'm shuffling like they do in Las Vegas, and also give the cards a cut, in fact a couple of cuts. And just to keep us honest, as they say, I'll give the cards another shuffle. Now I need 2 cards chosen from the deck. Let's give another cut as well. 2 cards chosen, one from here and one from here. And these are totally free choices. That one there and that one there, okay. These are totally free choices. I'd like you to have a look at the cards. Can you see the cards? Can you remember the cards? You got those? All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is to use this card as an indicator card. I can look at it. It's the 8 of diamonds. I'm going to place it kind of near the center of the deck. The 8 of diamonds is your card and it's an indicator card. I'll leave it face up. This card over here, I'd like you to return it, and I'm going to cut it into the deck. In actual fact, I'd like you, and the spectator takes the deck, and they can give the cards a few cuts if they want. The cards are being genuinely cut. Now, I need to cut the deck into, I don't know, nearly halfway. I suppose that's about halfway. Now, I'm going to take cards one by one and place them in front of each respective pile. Somewhere along the line, I'm going to come across that face-up indicator card. Your card, I'm going to come across that card somewhere in the mix here. And it really is a mix, by the way. Ah, there it is, the 8 of diamonds. What's extraordinary is the 8 of diamonds is next door to this card, which happens to be your card, the 6 of clubs, both selections. Oh, I like to go further, by the way, because bearing in mind all the shuffling and cutting, isn't it extraordinary? I've got the ace of clubs there, the ace of diamonds there, the ace of hearts there, and the ace of spades right there. Oh, but I can go further than that, by the way, because I've actually got all the clubs there in perfect order, ace through to king. I've got all the diamonds in perfect order, ace through to king. I've got all the hearts in perfect order, ace through to king. And I've got all the spades in perfect order, ace through to king, in perfect order. That card belongs there, that card belongs there, and that is a miracle.